Hello, Hola, Konnichiwa, Salaam, Ciao, Namaste. Peace to all. This is Soulology, the science of the soul. Part 2 of the unnatural and natural, the unnatural, of both grief and depression. We're going to get really nitty gritty about this. The one thing most people don't understand about depression is what we would call I believe it's the Kubler-Ross theory, where it's simply denial, anger, anger, depression, bargaining, acceptance. When you take this time, and this is one part I failed to mention, was the simple fact that by using this and growing as part of that, you can also get past your depression. This was something I didn't know at the time because of where I was at the time and what I was going through at the time. I was depressed for 2 years, twice, during my life in high school and even after high school. I had committed suicide almost 8 times. Why do I state this? There are people out there who believe that their life is meaningless. I'll tell you an amazing secret that no one will ever tell you in this world. There is no meaning of life. You give meaning to the life you live. That life you give is the meaning you perfect. You decide what life means to you. Don't allow society to tell you what life should be. It isn't their choice. It is your choice, because there was one statement that has always followed me as I've grown, is the simple fact of betrayal of the self is still betrayal nonetheless. It is the highest betrayal. Just even hearing that, when I first hear that, and still right now, it gives me chills, because at the time, I was betraying myself. The Kubler effect. When I was in my depression, the thing about it was I committed suicide about 8 to 9 times. But if you look at my arms, there are no scars left. You see, the one thing about people who are suicidal, what they will tell you is they're usually scars from cutting themselves, and most people don't understand why they cut themselves. What I could tell you is simply this. The pain within their heart is like a squeezing grip. This is true, especially in my experience, and many might tell you close to the same thing. And many would rather get rid of the pain. So, how do they get rid of it? They cut the pain away through other methods. When you're going through a depression, the biggest thing is, of course, look for someone, especially someone like a psychiatric, to talk to. But on top of that, if not that, look for people who are willing and open. You would be amazed who's out there and really cares about you. I hate to tell you, I really care about you. That's why I'm here giving you this message right now. Because of the simple fact that there is somebody, including myself, who cares about you. So, why is this an unnatural side would be the question in comparison to grief being the natural side of who you are. It's unnatural because of the causes of damage it can do. Depression, give or take what you have, can cause different flip-flop emotions, You can be happy and then be extremely depressed. It can cause violent habits that are not really natural to who you are. It can cause, and it has caused wars. It has caused havoc on relationships and breaking them up and everything. But you have to understand, when I was in depression, the one thing I promised myself was I wasn't going to cut myself. Why did I do that? I honestly couldn't tell you why. Something inside me, or, well, actually I can't. Something inside me just simply stated that I loved myself too much to harm myself. And I grew from that. When I had my depression the second time, and of course I was still a bit suicidal, I had taken the time. Sometimes I would walk around, sometimes I would try to meditate or go to sleep for a while. And I took that time to myself, but as I've grown, one of the questions might be, a lot of people might ask me is, well then how did you stay out of being depressed at the time? Including now at times, if I were to get depressed, the thing is, I go out into nature. I meditate, and the one thing I tell people is try the vegan challenge. Your nutrition is the most valuable reason of why you feel the way you feel. You have to understand that the energy that is connected to what you're eating right now is the root cause of why you feel the way you feel. And you might not believe it, but you have to understand that when you're eating those different animals, those different products, the slaughtering and pain they feel is being connected to you. So on top of your emotions, you're eating that food, but include it with the radiation poisoning on top of it. And that radiation poisoning is not really good for your body in the first place. I should know. That's why I stopped eating it. But the radiation poisoning and the food that you're eating, when you take it out of your system, you will notice you don't feel stressed. You don't feel the same pain. Earlier, about a few weeks ago, I had started eating, I believe it's called, I want to say chlorella, there we go, with spirulina. And what I did was, while eating this, I was stressed at that time, trying to rush from one place to the other. I noticed a certain calm when I took the supplements to keep my body in check. I was already eating healthy. It was just one day I was a bit stressed because of the simple fact that I was trying to hurry. But I wasn't stressed. You are what you eat. And taking the time to see what you're eating, looking up and researching the information to see how it's affecting you is vitally important to who you are as a person, and growing you and shaping you into the greatest version of who you are. So taking that time is what will help you grow into your highest version of who you truly are. And on top of that, taking the time to meditate. I have this saying that a friend of mine said, don't complicate, meditate. Why? Whatever you're feeling emotionally, especially during depression, is the root cause of that. So taking that time to meditate, going out into nature, loving yourself, sitting in the dark and meditating, it will even help to open the third eye, which will help awaken you and growing who you really are. You will realize and see the illusion, the Maya of what you're in right now, and notice that, just like I said, there is no meaning to life. You give it meaning. You give it meaning in growing yourself and loving yourself. And knowing that the wars that have been caused because of different depressions that have been terrifying to a person, you have to understand people do these wars because of certain things that have happened, such as income or great emotions, which had caused them to be afraid or terrified or depressed for what's going on in their what we would call nation, which doesn't even exist, but we've made it. And they take action by harming others. This is an unnatural emotion for a reason, because it causes more pain, not only to others, but extremely to the self. I had promised myself, no matter what happens, I will not harm myself. I will always love myself. And I stick to that because of seeing the God, the goddess and creator within myself, because I knew to know thyself is to know the creator within. And this is why I tell people this. And loving themselves and knowing that to everybody out there, I do hope you have a good morning, a great afternoon, and a fantastic evening. And to everybody, you are beautiful, amazing people. So always know how great you are. Namaste. Namaste.